The reason that you feel uncomfortable is because your brain sees the situation as unfamiliar. And anything that's unfamiliar is perceived as bad in your mind because it can't protect you from anything that it doesn't know. And so, what you need to do is you need to be able to convince your mind that being in unfamiliar situations is not a bad thing and to be comfortable in those unfamiliar situations. And the reason that you think this way is because you have gone through something in your past that made you believe that being in that situation is not safe. And so you have gone through life living that same memory in the back of your head subconsciously. You might not even be aware of it, but that past experience made you have a certain belief system in your head about yourself that you cannot be comfortable in those situations because it is not safe. You might feel that fear from that past experience that made you feel like you were small, or made you feel like you couldn't express yourself, or made you feel like you couldn't be who you want to be. And I'm gonna give you an example. 2 kids living in 2 different families. One family is very loud, very expressive. They do not care if they're loud in public. They just express themselves however they want to. That kid is gonna grow up thinking that it's completely okay to just express yourself and to not care about what anybody else thinks. Kid number 2, they grow up in a very timid family. They grow up with a very humble, keep to yourself, like don't be too loud, be conscious of what other people think. That kid is gonna grow up thinking, okay, it's not okay for me to be loud. It's not okay for me I have to suppress myself. See, both of those kids lived certain life experiences that led them to have a certain belief system, which then in turn made them live their lives the way that they do. And so the thing is, no thought is a final thought. It doesn't have to be a final thought. Every thought can be changed. Every thought can be reprogrammed. Every thought can be unlearned. You need to convince your brain that it is completely okay to be in the unfamiliar. It is completely okay to be in the unknown. And so what you're going to do is you're going to reprogram your mind with so many thoughts that replace all of these fear-based thoughts into positive ones. You can't get rid of the dark with more dark. You can only get rid of the dark with light. You need to seriously watch your self-talk, because your self-talk can literally be your downfall. And so people undermine this, but your self-talk has a lot of power, and it's the thing that drives what you do. And so all negative self-talk, it just needs to go out the window. To put it simply, if you have a negative thought, just acknowledge it, forgive it, don't blame it. It's just a thought. You don't have to listen to it. It's just a thought that's just passing by, and just be like, okay, thanks, bye. Next. This is literally what I tell everybody who wants to try something new and they're just afraid. But basically, every single person that has tried to do what you want to do, or that has done what you want to do, they have gone through the exact same uncomfortable feeling. They have gone through the same embarrassment. They have gone through the same trials and errors. They have literally gone through the exact same situation that you are in. And so whatever you're trying to go into, whether that's a business, whether that's just talking to people in person and getting yourself, being more confident, whether that's just going to the gym, whether that's trying a new hobby, anything that you're trying to start that you're uncomfortable with, just know that every single person who has done what you have done has gone through what you have gone through. And so basically, a lot of the time when we try to do something that's uncomfortable, we'll put a lot of pressure on ourselves. But if you just realize that there is a collective of people that have gone through the exact same thing that you have gone through, you realize that you are not alone, and nor is it not a normal thing to go through what you're going through. And so when you put it in that aspect, it won't seem as big, because now it's like, oh, this person went through that too. This person went through this too. I could do the same thing. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but we have all gone through it together. Not together, but like we have all gone through it like on our own. For example, for me, when I first started my YouTube channel, I knew that I wasn't going to be perfect. And I knew that my first few videos were probably going to be really bad, no matter how hard I tried. And so what I did was, I realized that every single person who has also started their YouTube channel, they also started really bad. And so in a way, it's kind of like you identify with that version, with that type of person that has gone through that thing in order to overcome that blockage is like that embarrassment, that imperfectness was just part of it. Like, it's literally just part of it. All of those bumps and hills that you gotta go over doesn't mean that you're not still on your path. The path is still the path, whether it's bumpy or smooth or up or down, it is still the path. And so once you realize that you're just gonna need to take the path, you'll just be able to commit more, because it's like, it's just part of it. All of those things are just part of the story that you just gotta commit to. And so commit to being the imperfect version of yourself. Commit to being not perfect. Don't commit to that perfect version of yourself that has already achieved that thing, that has already done the thing that you want to do. Commit to the version of yourself that's feeling uncomfortable, because it's the process that will get you to the goal. See, you need to become a process-based person instead of a goal-based person, because when you're focused on the goal, you're just going to be thinking about how you're not at the goal. But if you're focused on the process and you're focused on just showing up, just doing what you can, whether it's going to be perfect or not, you just know that you're going to show up the next day, that will get you to the goal so much more faster than you just trying to be at the goal, because the process is the goal. The process is actually the goal. People don't realize that. People think that, for example, getting a car, like their dream car, they think that that's the goal, but no, the goal is actually the journey of getting to the goal, getting that car. And so you need to be able to figure out ways to, make money, blah, blah, blah. Or for example, if you're trying to be more confident, instead of just focusing on being very talkative, talking to everybody, blah, 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 focus on what you can do right now. Focus on what you can do today. And that's all that matters. And then show up the next day. What's the next thing you're going to do? What's the next thing you're going to do? And then before you know it, you're going to become that person that has that thing. You're going to become that person that now feels comfortable in that uncomfortable situation, because now you were focused on being imperfect in improving type of way. You need to accept failure completely. You need to accept the uncomfortableness completely. You need to be able to know that you are going to be uncomfortable and still do it. For example, I've done a cold plunge before, and I've observed people doing a cold plunge. Basically, a cold plunge is where you get into like an ice bath and you just sit there for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And there's certain people who are going to be like going crazy in there, and then there's certain people who are just calm. And when I went into it, it's not about thinking, okay, I'm gonna try to be warm, let me try to stay warm as possible. It's like, no, accept the fact that you're gonna be cold. Accept the fact that it's gonna be uncomfortable. Accept the fact that, yes, it's going to feel crazy when I get into this ice bath. When you let go of that resistance to the failure, when you let go of the resistance to the uncomfortability, when you let go of the resistance to that fear and accept it, it makes it so much more easier to just be in it and be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Being brave is not the absence of fear. Being brave is having that fear and still finding a way through it. And so know that it is completely okay to feel the way that you feel. It is not wrong to feel the way that you feel. It is not wrong to feel afraid. It is not wrong to feel uncomfortable. That is what you're supposed to feel. With all that being said, you need to listen to your positive mind. And I know a lot of you probably don't even know what it's like to talk positively about yourself, but that needs to change. In order to be uncomfortable with being uncomfortable, you need to be able to be your own rock. You need to be able to not when you're trying to be uncomfortable with when you're trying to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, you need to be able to not bring yourself back down. A lot of the time, our minds will just make thoughts just to literally bring us down. And 9 times out of 10, it is not that serious. You talking to somebody in public or just complimenting somebody is not that serious. You starting to go to the gym is not that serious. You starting that business is really not that serious. And it's your brain that overcomplicates it, makes it seem like it's scarier than it actually is, but it's really not. And so you need to be able to make the conscious choice to change that way of thinking. You don't want to try to be achieving something or try to do something that you want to do, and then you have somebody right beside you telling you, you can't do that. No. What if this and that? Like, please, no. Just no. Like, that's literally the attitude that you gotta have with yourself. Like, sometimes even for me, I'll be having irrational, kind of intrusive, negative thoughts, and I'll be thinking, what if this happens? What if that happens? Man, I'm just like, wait, hold on. What if it turns out great? Like, what if it actually turns out amazing? What if this ends up being the best day ever? What if this situation turns out exactly the way that I want it to be? Like, sometimes you just gotta, like, switch it up. Like, literally, sometimes that's all that you have to do. And you do not have to overcomplicate it. And do not blame yourself for having any negative thoughts. I always say this. Do not blame yourself for having any type of negative thoughts. Because that will just, there's no point in doing that. Because that's just another negative thought. And so, yeah. If you feel like you're not good enough and you start to have all these thoughts thinking like, I don't think I could do this. I don't think I'm worthy. I don't think I'm ready for this. Like, tell yourself, what if I do amazing? What if I do great? What if this turns out even better than I thought it would be? And then if you do it and you don't end up, you don't end up doing good, it's like, okay, at least I showed up. At least you tried. At least you took the next step. And at the end of the day, don't take it to heart because, like I said, the path is still the path. Whether you've hit a bump, whether you've hit a low, it is literally still the path. No matter what, you are still going somewhere. No matter what situation you may be in, it's part of it. It's all just part of the story. It's all part of the story. Don't make it more than it has to be, because that's like being in a rainstorm and you're trying to dodge all the raindrops. Like, just accept the failure, accept the uncomfortableness, accept the fact that you're gonna get rained on, accept the fact that it might be a little bit embarrassing, accept the fact that you're not gonna be perfect, and still commit to being there. Like, yes, it's going to be like that, but I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to show up. I'm still going to try. And so long as you got that mindset, like, you still on the path. Like, you don't got anything to worry about. Everyone, let me know what you're going through in the comments below. I want to hear all y'all's situation. I want to text to you guys, not text, reply to you guys back. If you have any questions, also let me know. I will always reply back. If I don't, I'm sorry, I probably just didn't see it. But with that being said, that is the end of my video. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. On this channel, we're constantly evolving, and if you're trying to evolve too, come join the journey, come join the tribe. But yeah, I really love and appreciate every single one of you guys, for real, for real, for real. All your support makes me feel so loved and very happy, and I love that I'm able to provide this information to you guys. But yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night. Peace and love, y'all. Feel like this video spoke to you and you're ready to level up? It's not a coincidence. I am now offering one-on-one life coaching lessons to anyone who wants to shift their energy, to break old patterns, and to step into the highest version of them. And this isn't just advice, this is real transformation. So if you feel called to this, don't wait, trust that inner calling, and you can use the link in the description below to book a call with me, and let's make some real change together. I'll see you there.